Now, when I went back this time, I felt like such a failure. How could I have been out of my body 3 times, been through all this stuff, almost died, and there's countless other times in your addiction where you were in a situation you could have died. And I'm still drinking again now, and I'm drinking hard now, harder and harder and more. If I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'm drinking a beer, smoking a joint, hitting the bowl, whatever. I used to tell people I drink when my eyes are open. It wasn't a joke. I'd get a 30-pack, set it right next to me because there's no reason to put it in the fridge because I'm going to kill it before you can drink your 6-pack most of the time. I was insane. Now I fell into drugs and coke and whatever else I could get my hands on at this point. And it got me to the point where I was going to kill myself. Before I always said, I'm not going to kill myself because I love my family. Well, let me tell you something. Never say never, because I got to a point where I said, I'm done. I got to the point where I said, my family's better off without me because I can't even go anywhere without drinking. No matter where I go, I have to drink. Whether I'm putting it in a soda can, wherever I'm at. Driving around, McDonald's cups with the straw through a beer can in a McDonald's cup, looking like I'm drinking McDonald's, in coffee cups, beer. It's insane. So I honestly thought I'm better off dead. They'll be sad for a minute, but they'll get over it because who needs a sloppy, drunk dad? Nobody. So I came across a weapon that I was going to shoot myself with. And put the bullets in it, locked the door in my house, sitting there with the gun in my mouth and ready to shoot myself. The only thing I was thinking is which way to aim the gun so I don't mess this up. I didn't want to mess up killing myself. In my pagan life, I remember seeing Rotten.com, a guy tried to kill himself and messed it up. His whole face was gone. He had tubes going down him. I'm like, that's the last thing I need. The bullet was so lovely to think about. One bullet can take away all this mess and pain. I'm in. Count me in. And that's how I felt. So I had the gun loaded in my mouth, and I'm trying to figure out which way to make sure I kill myself. And something hits me. Bam! Guardian angel, something telling me, hey, your kids are at home. Your wife is home. It's bad enough you're killing yourself, but, don't let them hear the shot that did it. Don't let them come in and find you. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, all right, And I thought, what? It is horrible. I'm doing this, so let me just wait till tomorrow, and I'll kill myself down on the beach. You know what I mean? And so I unloaded and put everything away up. I hid it up near the ceiling there and locked all the doors and left my room and went out there and I watched my kids play. My wife talked to them regular, because I didn't let on that anything was wrong at all because I never showed any kind of I need help kind of thing. Everybody would have been shocked. I had hid everything my whole life. So, I was used to hiding stuff. And it's a weird feeling to watch your kids playing and your wife, and in your head, they have no clue I'm going to kill myself tomorrow. It's a crazy, crazy feeling to have. The night went on regularly, laughed, joked, whatever. Said prayers with the kids, put them to bed. Good night to the wife. We went to bed. As I'm sleeping, all of a sudden I'm in hell. Now when I say hell, I mean this cave. The cave is humongous. I can't even describe over to my left, there's like a 2-mile wide crater with orange, yellowish, reddish flames coming up, and the screams are millions at the same time. And the thought that hit my head was that's where Hitler's at. That's where the major people who are leading a lot of people to death are, or that have, or whatever, or where they will be going. And where I was up on this ledge, and there was 2 cave entrances there, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go into them, but I could see them. And I had a demon. There was demons all over, and there was people just screaming all over. And a demon would grab my right arm and pull and would rip my arm off, where my whole arm would come off, and I'd see the skin hanging and the veins and the blood. And the first 2 or 3 times you see that, you're still used to thinking how we do on earth, and on earth we're like, oh no, what panic. But there it's different, so you're shocked. But he'd pull it off, and a couple seconds later it would be back on again, and he would do the same thing all over again, and he'd be holding my arm, looking at me, laughing, because he just wants to see the fear, the fright on my face. So in front of me stood this, only way I can describe it is a monster, and I'm talking like 4 foot wide, huge shoulders, like Sully off of Monsters Inc., if you ever seen that. And that was a cool movie and all, but this guy was like evil, huge, big like that, huge, like knives, huge claws, huge. And these things, he would just go like this, wham, and come off from this side. And when he'd hit me, he'd just rip my stomach to shreds, and my whole insides would fall on the ground of the cave. And I'd look down, and once again, you're shocked. How's this happening? If it happens here, we're dead. But there, by the time he'd pull his hand back again, I was healed. And he would do it all over again, and he'd laugh at me. So the whole thing there, they wanted to laugh. They wanted to see your fear. They wanted to torture you. And they were content to do this forever. You absolutely knew that in your heart as you're there. But I remember cursing at him, saying, do you really think I give a F what you're doing? Think about it. On this earth, I'd run crazy from this guy. But there, he didn't even affect me. Because I couldn't feel my stomach being tore open. I couldn't feel my arm being ripped off. And even with the smells, and even with the screams, the panic, the chaos, constantly. The chaos for me was the separation from God. Knowing that I can pray all I want. I can't get my prayers up to Him. It's over. It's like grabbing a rubber ball trying to throw it through the ceiling. It's not going to happen. And I realized instantly that as long as you're living, as long as you're breathing and walking on this earth, I don't care if you're atheist, I don't care what you are, New Age and this and that. Wake up, because as long as you're breathing, you have a shot to pray to Jesus, to drop to your knees, to ask God to come into your life, to save your life, and to turn your life over to God. And you can do that as long as you're breathing. Once you breathe your last breath, the dishes are done. Whatever you've accumulated to that point will be what happens. And a lot of people say, well, my God He's a loving God, and there is no hell, and He wouldn't put you in hell, and He wouldn't do this and that. Let me tell you something. That's all nice and everything, and you can keep that where you keep it. But hell is real. And you know who put yourself in hell? You. Because you're shown how you lived. You see everything you've ever done. And as you see, you judge yourself. Well, I wasn't this good. I did this, I did that. He has a law for us to follow. And if you don't follow it, you're going to be in hell. In hell, my heart wants to just explode just thinking of that place. I wish I had 1,000 years to live here, to do good every day I could, just to try to assure myself that I don't go there. You know what I'm saying? I can't even think about going back there. I tried my best today to give glory to God, because I'm so scared of that place. But I'm very scared for the people who don't believe in it, because it is so frightening. I'm sure that other people who have had these experiences felt different things in hell. Myself, all I felt was the separation from God. Not one other thing bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing else could ever overtake that pain. And I couldn't believe that I was stuck here for eternity to be tortured, and to always know that I had everything. I had my wife, I had my kids, I had all the opportunities in the world, and I didn't make any of them work. I squandered everything. And it had brought me to this point for eternity.